But if you don't have enough information, if you haven't receiving the information, you do already note errors in the RIF notice you received. These could be reasons why you want to move forward with an MSPB appeal to challenge, that RIF action. So on the next slide, we talk about the MSPB jurisdiction, and we talk about here how the MSPB ordinarily lacks jurisdiction in review of voluntary reassignment to avoid the consequence of a RIF. But the more closely a reassignment process resembles the execution of a RIF, the more likely the reassignments will be considered as part of a RIF. So what this all means is essentially, and it was referenced earlier, that an agency could attempt to avoid a RIF by reassigning an employee to a separate organization, but there is still an opportunity, especially if the employee doesn't agree with that, to potentially challenge that reassignment action because it was done in lieu of a RIF. And the employee may still have an opportunity to challenge that that reassignment action if it was in conjunction with the RIF. I'm not sure how often that is happening currently, but that has happened in the past, where employers are actually just reassigned when it's actually in effect a RIF, or they're being, just changed to a different position. But normally, the board does lack jurisdiction over a transfer to another agency done after a RIF notice is made, unless it was, you could prove there's evidence that it was actually a RIF or was done involuntarily or whatnot. So I think the main point here is the main point of jurisdiction is a RIF notice. And when you receive a RIF, there may be jurisdiction if you've been reassigned to a separate agency or reassigned in lieu of a RIF.